Hey everyone, welcome back to another session of the Virtual Office Hour. This is AWeber's weekly live stream, and my name is Brandon Olson. I'm the Marketing Communications Manager at AWeber, and I'm excited to be with you today for the next hour to answer your questions about email marketing, about AWeber, and really kind of generally all things marketing. So excited to be with you today. I'm excited for those who are joining us here as well. If you're new to our virtual office hours, I'm here for the next hour to answer your questions. If you're watching the replay, certainly ask your questions in the comments as well, and we can answer those in the comments as well. So thanks for joining us again. So if you got any questions, go ahead and put them into the comments, and we'll answer those over the next hour. If you've got something that you'd like some feedback on, maybe an email you wrote, or a landing page you've just built, go ahead and drop a link to it in the comments, and we can take a look at that, give you some feedback. And I love being on these weekly office hours because I can answer your questions and provide demonstrations on how to do things in AWeber, as well as best practices that come in mind when it comes to email marketing. So, all right, with that, let's go ahead. I'll put the little ticker up here. Just go ahead if you have any questions over the next hour. If you're tuning in now or later, let's go ahead and put those questions into the comments. And if you're tuning in live, just be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're joining us from. I'd love to meet you. So first up, and so I've got some topics to cover, things that I can show you how to do within AWeber, but I certainly want to make sure that your questions are prioritized first, because this is an hour for you to come and ask questions. So if you got a question, put it in there. But I do have some topics I can cover while we wait for some of those questions to roll in. Normally I have a co-host today, but I'm flying solo today, which is no big deal. Next week we'll have a guest expert on with me to share some knowledge, as well as answer your questions as well. Okay. All right, with that, let's jump into some topics. One exciting thing that we just rolled out that you'll be hearing more about later today in an email to, if you're a customer of AWeber user, as well as just one of our community members, is the ability to add a custom URL to your landing page, to your AWeber landing page. So I thought we'd jump into the dashboard, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and pull up the dashboard here real quick. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm on the main dashboard. This is one of our demo accounts, and let's head on over to landing pages real quick. All right, so I've got some landing pages already written here. So let's go ahead and open up our this one right here, the top 10 recipes landing page. And you'll notice, if I come over here to the page properties and go to settings, you'll notice that under the landing page section right here, you'll see that you have the ability now to add a custom domain. Now, you were already able to add a custom subdomain, and that's everything that comes before the aweb.page, which is the domain for the AWeber landing pages. So you already had the ability to customize the subdomain, which comes before that, as well as the page path, which is everything that comes after the domain. So aweb.page / then you can customize that. But until now, the only way to customize the actual domain, aweb.page, was to use our WordPress integration. But now you have the ability to add your own domain, whether you're a WordPress user or not, using the custom domain. So you'll see this little option. It's grayed out right here. So what I'll do is I'm going to click on custom domain, and it's going to take me over to my account settings here, where I'm going to find my domains and addresses. This is where I would add my custom subdomain, as well as add any custom domains for sending. So if I have a from address that I want to send from, I can add that here. I can get that verified. And then down here at the very bottom, you'll see it where it says landing page domains. So this is where we're going to go ahead and click on connect a domain. And then you'll put in either your domain or your subdomain right here. So this is a fictitious business that we have in this demo account, and it's called Tara's Healthy Eats. So if we owned that domain, what we could do is we would do tarashealthyeats.com, And then what we would do is you click on Next DNS Settings. So this domain's already in use because we don't own this domain. So let's try something else. Let's see, terashealthy.com. Let's see if that, there we go. Okay. Now we don't own that domain, but I just want to show you kind of the next step here. So the next step is where you would update your DNS records in your domain provider. So you might be on GoDaddy or Google or HostGator or Bluehost, whatever DNS provider you have, you would add these two elements down below. So you have an A record and a CNAME record that you would add to your DNS provider settings. And then after that, I think you give yourself up to 48 hours for that to start working, to connect. Once that happens, you'd hit refresh and you'd see the status change from not connected to connected. And once that's connected, let's go ahead and hit done. Now you'll be able to point your landing page to that domain rather than the aweb.page domain. So if we head on back over to landing pages here, you'll see, let's go over to our top 10 recipes, and we're kind of fast forwarding 48 hours from now. Once those DNS records have been connected and refreshed, you'll see that this option that's grayed out right now will no longer be grayed out. You'll be able to select that and then pick from the domains, the custom domains that you have connected. Now you can connect up to, I believe, 5 custom domains to your account. So you can pick from up to 5 different domains to connect your landing page to. Let's see. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments there. All right. All right, I'm going to see if I can find, I'm going to jump over to my own account so I can show you what that looks like. Let's go over to switch account, jump over to my personal account, and let's jump over to landing pages here. And let's go to Best of Dad list, and then head on down here to the sign up page. Let's go ahead and click on this and head over to the settings. You'll notice that I've connected a domain, bestofdad.com. And so now my domain is bestofdad.com/podcast. So you'll still need to have a custom page path as part of this. You can't just direct your domain to your landing page. You have to have a custom page path with it as well. Now you could forward your domain to your landing page, and you can do that in your DNS with your DNS provider as well. So you set up a URL forwarding from bestofdad.com in this example to bestofdad.com/podcast. So you could still forward it on to your landing page using your DNS in your DNS settings with your DNS provider. But in Aweber, you would still need a page path for your landing page. And in this case, it's just podcast, and then you can see the preview URL right here. All right, so that's what it would look like. And I've connected a few different domains here. So if I click this little drop down, you'll see that I've got a bunch of different domains to pick from. And those are the options that you have. Now you can connect up to 5, like I said, and then beyond that, you wouldn't be able to connect any others. Let's go ahead and jump out of this. Head back over to our demo account. There we go. All right, so we got some questions coming in, which is awesome. So I see one from Crave. How do you come up with good copy? I get stuck with my landing page on what to say. That's a good question, Crave. And I think that's probably a struggle of many, many people. Good copy is tough to come by, especially if you're not a good copywriter. You can certainly hire a copywriter to help you out with that. And we have a great resource of Aweber certified experts who are also copywriters who can help with that. I'll put a link to the certified expert program so you can take a look at those different experts to work with. But in terms of if you're looking to write it yourself, what we've done in our landing page builder, let's jump over to our landing pages real quick, is we've developed these templates that include some sort of prompts for you on what you should put in the different areas of your landing page. So let's jump into let's pick from the coaching consultation template here. Let's jump into that one. Now you can see right off the bat that we've got the text that's in this template is prompting you on what you should write here. So in this first headline is tell people to sign up for your services. So you just basically, remove that and type in the text that you need to do. The description here says give people an idea of the work you do, tell them how you can help them and how you have helped others. And then if you scroll down below, some more prompts here, tell people what they'll learn from this video. And these are just suggestions. You can certainly change what you put here. These don't have to be exactly the way we say that you should use it. If you want to eliminate an entire section entirely or add a brand new section, you can certainly do that. But what we've done is we've tried to give you some prompts in the actual copy of the template itself to guide you on what you should put in these different areas. But generally speaking, so let me jump out of this real quick. When it comes to writing copy, it should be short and clear and to the point. So take a sign-up form template, a sign-up form, for example, rather than saying, sign up to receive my emails. That's not very descriptive. That's not really giving them a reason to sign up. That's not really telling them what's in it for them. So really think about what is the offer that you're giving somebody, what's the hook, and write a more compelling copy to support that. So if my offer is a checklist or a guide, I should be highlighting that in the headline. Actually, I think I have a good. Let me see if I can find one of my slides from one of the presentations I give on a regular basis that has some good tips on how to write good copy in your sign-up form, which kind of carries over into just general landing page copy as well. Just give me one moment here. Here we go. So we can pull this up. Here we go. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to pull this slide up here and let's go ahead and see if I can present this. All right. So I just have a quick little slide up here that talks about some best practices when it comes to writing copy in your sign-up form. So number one, your headline needs to be clear, concise, descriptive. Tell them exactly what it is. So in this case, it's a crash course, small business marketing crash course. It's 7 days. I know exactly what it is. And then I can use that description text down below to explain further what's in this offer. So the essentials of a successful marketing plan, plus, and this is important for GDPR compliance, make sure that you are very clear about what they can expect to receive after signing up. So yes, they're going to get the crash course, but if I am planning to send them more emails, I need to make sure that is spelled out very clearly in my sign-up form. So, and that can be as simple as a quick little sentence that says, plus get regular tips and tricks to improve your marketing skills. So just make sure that that's clear in your sign-up form or on your landing page, because if you don't have that in there, you cannot, by law, communicate with your audience after beyond what they're signing up for. So as long as you're very clear and on the expectations with your subscribers, that's really important to keep in mind. And that's kind of the other point over on the right there, setting clear expectations, not only about the types of stuff that they're going to get by subscribing, but how often they're going to get it. So are you going to be sending them daily emails, weekly emails, monthly emails? It's a good practice to put that into the copy as well. Your calls to action need to also be very clear and descriptive as well. So rather than saying sign up or register or subscribe, try to make your copy tie back to what it is that they're signing up for. So in this case, it's a course. So that call to action, rather than saying sign up, says send me the course. It also uses that first person language there with the word me, and that has been seen that has been shown to increase conversion rates as well when you add some first person language into your calls to action. So with good copy, and I'll put some links to some blog posts on our site where we talk about how to write good copy. But just generally speaking, here's some tips right here is just being very clear, concise, and to the point, and descriptive. You don't want to leave it ambiguous. You also want to make sure that you give your copy some room to breathe. So rather than having big chunks of text, big paragraphs of text, break that up. Use some spacing in there. Even create some bullets to help the reader kind of read through that a lot more easily, instead of just cramming it all into a big long paragraph. That will help your reader continue to kind of flow through the copy and skim it. Make it as easy as possible to get the information that they need. All right, so hopefully that helps. Crave, I'm going to put some links to some additional blog posts and resources where you can read up on that, as well as a link to our Certified Expert program where you can find an ACE, one of our experts, who's not only certified in Aweber, but also has other skills and other expertise like copywriting. So definitely check that out. Actually, what I'll do is I'll pull that up right now so I can show you where to find that. Let's go ahead and jump over here and let's go to Certified Expert. So if you go to aweber.com/certified-experts.htm, you'll come to our Certified Expert page where you can see all the different experts that have been certified in Aweber. But then you can drill down into the different categories. So if you're looking for a copywriter, let's go ahead and click on copywriting. You'll see all the different experts, certified experts in Aweber, who also are really great copywriters. And you can take a look at the different individuals here, read up about their who they are, what they do, their pricing, and also just a link straight off to their website where you can get in touch with them. So go check that out. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. All right, so we got a question here on Facebook. Hey, Brendan, I have a client. When a customer buys a product, we can add a tag for that product, but when the customer revisits and purchases a second different product, we cannot get Aweber to add the new tag. I'm not sure who that is. I'm going to see if I can open up that's coming from our Facebook group. So let's just see if that's someone I know. All right, let's see here. All right, give me 1 second here. It's Ralph. Hey, Ralph. All right. Good question, Ralph. If you could comment and let me know what you're using, what e-commerce platform you're using. Are you using PayPal, Shopify, WooCommerce? Let me know in the comments. If you use any of those, so PayPal, WooCommerce, or Shopify, you have the ability to connect to do some advanced tagging with those integrations. So when someone buys a specific product, you can tag them with that specific product. So there's I want to make sure you've got it set up correctly in the advanced tagging settings. But if you do have it set up and for some reason it's still not tagging appropriately, I would reach out to our team because it should be tagging them appropriately if it's set up correctly. I don't have a PayPal account myself to kind of walk you through that, but let me see if I can pull up our help article, which should have some good screenshots there to kind of walk through real quick. All right, here we go. Perfect. All right, so let me see if I can zoom this in a bit so we can take a look at it. So you'll see that once you've connected your PayPal account, so this is PayPal. I'm not sure if you're using PayPal, but whether you're using PayPal, Shopify, or WooCommerce, it looks a lot the same. So first off, you're going to connect to a list. So first off, you pick your list. You can apply some tags. This is under your list automations, and then beyond that, so that's going to tag anybody who makes a purchase by adding to the list and also tagging them. But beyond that, you can check the advanced settings box, which would give you the ability to go down to the product level and apply tags based on the products they buy. So in this case, in this example here, we've got awesome hats. They're going to be added to this list, my awesome newsletter, and then you can apply tags for that specific product. And that's basically going to override your general tags that would be associated with just anybody signing up. So if you didn't have a specific product set up in the advanced settings, so let's say you've got awesome hats and then you've got awesome scarves, but awesome scarves doesn't have any advanced settings, it would default back to the default tags. But if you do have a product set up in the advanced settings, it would override those defaults. So hopefully that helps. And I'm not sure if, so WooCommerce, perfect. Yeah, so WooCommerce works exactly the same in Aweber. So you're going to connect it. You're going to find your list. You're going to check that box for advanced settings. You're going to find your product and go from there. Let's see if I can pull up the WooCommerce. All right, let's jump down here. So you authorize it, you've got it connected. So I'll drop a link to this as well. And if you've got it all set up like it's outlining here, and it's still not working correctly, I would reach out to our support team so they can dig a little bit deeper and figure out what might be going on there. So hopefully that helps. I know it looks like WooCommerce works a little bit different because it's primarily based in WordPress. So since it's a WordPress plugin. Sorry, I can't be of much more help there. I don't have a WooCommerce account to really dive into, but I'll put a link to these WooCommerce articles in the comments there, Ralph. But thanks for bringing that question up. All right. Let's see. If you got any questions, just keep putting them into the comments there. Let's go ahead and jump into another topic. Works great for one product. Yeah, it should work for more than one product. I'm not sure why it's not doing that. Definitely reach out to our team and let's figure out what might be going on there. All right, great. Okay. All right. Another topic we can cover while we wait for some more questions to roll in is split testing. Now, we've talked about split testing your emails, split testing your sign-up forms, but we haven't really talked about how to split test your automated campaigns. And that's something you can do in Aweber using our sign-up form split testing. So let's jump into the dashboard again, and I'll show you how to do that. It's really cool. It's kind of a lesser known feature or capability that you can do in Aweber. So let's go ahead and open the dashboard here. And what we're trying to do, let's just really quickly backtrack a bit. Let's say you've got an automated campaign and you want to test out a different automated campaign with a portion of your new subscribers. So let's say that you've got 80% of your subscribers going through your main campaign. And then this new campaign that you want to test out with your subscribers, you want maybe 20% of people to go through that, just to kind of see if you're able to increase open rates with different subject lines, or maybe click-through rates with different calls to action or images. You can do that using our sign-up form split testing. So let's go ahead and jump in real quick and head over to our sign-up forms. And let's open up, let's see here. So we've got variation 1. Let me see what this one looks like real quick. And variation B, A and B. Okay. All right, so let's open up variation 1 here. And you'll see that this sign-up form has a name and email. It also has some custom fields here, as well as an orange call to action button. And then the variation B, let's jump back over to sign up forms. Oh, you know what? I already have a couple set up here. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and open up the campaign split test A. You'll notice I have a sign up form right here. And if I go back and look at the B, the version B, it's going to be the exact same as version A. The only difference is that we're going to be tagging them differently. So this one is tagged with Top Recipes Campaign B. And then this other one is tagged with Top Recipes Campaign A. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our sign-up forms and create a sign-up form split test. So under create a sign-up form, go to split test your sign-up forms. And we're going to call this our campaign test. And then what we'll do is we'll find those two variations. So here's our campaign split test A. And let's say we're going to do 50% to that one. And campaign split test B, we're going to do 50% to that one. And we'll go ahead and save this split test. And we'll scroll on down to the bottom here where we can see our different split tests. So here's our split test. We've got this form, campaign split test A and campaign split test B. They're identical in the way that they look, but they're different in the way that they're tagging people. So what we're going to do at this point is create two campaigns, one that starts on the split on the first tag, and another one that starts on the second tag. And you can have so because the sign-up forms are the same, to the end user, they're signing up for the exact same form, but they're going to get two different types of experiences with the automated campaigns. And then you can look at and see which one is performing better in terms of open rates if you're testing subject lines, or if you're testing the content of the email to see if you can get people to click through more or engage with it more. So that's the first thing, is figuring out what you want to test with those campaigns, whether it's the open rates or the click-through rates. But by setting up your sign-up form split test and making your sign-up forms identical and just changing the way that they're tagging, so split test A, split test B, then you can go over to your campaigns, and then what we'll do is we'll set up a campaign so we'll do welcome campaign A. Go ahead and hit create. And we're going to start this one on that first tag, and I'm trying to remember what that was, but I'll come back to that in a second. So we'll go ahead and build this out, add in our messages, add in our wait times, and so on and so forth. And then I'll just save this for now, and I'll come back to that in a second. And then let's go ahead and create a second campaign and do welcome campaign B. I can hit create. And we'll also start this when a tag is applied, and we'll build this out as well. If you double click on these on the left here, they'll just add it to the end of the campaign. I'm going to save and exit, come back to that in just a moment. Got to head back over to the sign-up forms and refresh my memory on what tag I used for these. So if I open up campaign split test A form, so I used Top Recipes Campaign A. All right, so let's come back over to campaigns and go to welcome campaign A. Click on the trigger up here and type in, oh shoot, now I forget what it was again. Campaign split test. Oh, I remember, Top Recipes Campaign A. Oh. And we'll go ahead and save and exit, and then we'll go over to welcome campaign B, do the same thing. So we've got Top Recipes Campaign B. And then the last thing I would do, I don't have any messages drafted right now, but I would go through and add my messages. And depending, like I said, depending on what you're trying to test, if you're trying to increase open rates, then you'd be testing your subject lines, different subject lines. If you're trying to increase your click-through rates in your emails, then you might test the content of your email. So it might be different calls to action. Maybe it's images versus no images. So there's any variety of things you could test out. But I would go through and either choose those messages that I've already written or create them right from the campaign builder here, and then just build out this campaign. And when it's all finished, I would save and exit, and then come back over to the campaigns and go ahead and activate these two campaigns. And once they're both active, then you can put that sign-up form split test onto your website. So if I come over to my sign-up forms, what I'll do at this point is if I'm just putting the HTML code, I would just go ahead and grab that HTML code right here, the script, and paste that into my website. But if I'm using the WordPress plugin for Aweber, you don't have to worry about any HTML. You can just use the short codes that are already in the WordPress plugin. And then you can track how your campaigns are performing if you come over to the campaigns section. Once these are activated, you'll be able to see the different open rates and stuff. So let me see if I can find one, for example. So here's a welcome campaign where I'll see the open rates, the click-through rates for each of the emails in the campaign. And so I would look at both campaigns and see which one's performing based on the goal I have, whether it's open rates or click-through rates. And if I see one campaign working better than another, then what I could do is I can put all my traffic on that one campaign by just simply changing the percentages in my split test. So if I come back to sign-up forms and come down here and edit this, so if I click on edit, I can change my percentages. So let's say that campaign A, the sign-up form A, is working at a much better than the campaign B. Then I would just change this to 100% and this to 0 and save my split test. And then all my traffic at that point would be going to the higher performing campaign from that point on. So that's a way that you can use our sign-up form split testing feature to actually split test your campaigns, your automated campaigns. So a really cool way of doing that. All right, so we've got some questions coming in here, one from Alita. Let's talk about the DKIM and SPF setup. Under my custom domains and from addresses, it shows verified, and the DKIM looks good, but the SPF is pink, so I added that text record, still saying not installed. Any idea what else I can do? I want to make sure all my emails are actually getting sent to my subscribers. Yeah, that's a good question, Alita. I would say that it's probably something you need to have our team troubleshoot in more detail, because everybody's situation is a little bit different. You all have different hosts, different domain hosts, and so they all work a little bit differently. So depending on your host, there might be some challenges there. So I would say reach out to our team and see if they can dig into it a little bit more with you and find the recommended path forward for you. But if it is pink, if you say it's pink, then that means it hasn't quite activated correctly or fully. And so I would reach out to our team and see if they can look into your particular case and figure out what might be going on there and give you some recommendations on how to proceed. But also keep in mind too that even if your SPF record isn't set up, you can still send those emails. Like those emails will still go out. What happens when you have that DKIM and the SPF set up is it adds another level of validation or verification with the email clients out there, like Gmail and Hotmail and Yahoo and so on. So if it's not set up correctly, if it's not connected, you're still sending them out through Aweber. So those emails are still getting sent to your subscribers, but we do want to get that addressed so that you can get that extra level of verification or validation with those email clients through your own domain. Hopefully that answer. I know it's not really. It's kind of a non-answer because everyone's situation is a little bit different. You all have different domain hosts, and we just want to look into that specific use or that specific case. So definitely reach out to our team. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so they can definitely help you out with that. But thanks for asking that question. It's a great question. I'm glad you're using DKIM. Let's actually jump into that. And for those who are new to DKIM and what that is, let's go ahead and walk through that real quick. So if you go over to your account, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get into that. Let's see. My internet's going slow. Give this a refresh. All right, let's go over to my account and go to domains and addresses. And then down here where you see custom domains and from addresses, you'll see that I've got this right here, Tara at tarashealthyeats.com. I don't have that. I don't own that domain, so I'm not going to be able to show this particular one. Let me actually jump over to my personal account, since I do have some of my DKIM and SPF set up there. So let's go to my account and then jump down to domains and addresses. You'll see that I've got a bunch here. So let's go to brandonpolson.com. I own that domain. I'm sending from Brandon at brandonpolson.com. You'll see that I've got all my green checks here. So what you would first do is to enter your domain, your sending from address. So whatever you're sending your emails from, and we recommend you send it from your own domain rather than a free domain like gmail.com. Use your own domain because you're going to be in much better shape for delivering your emails. So enter your email address in here that you want to send from, and then click the send verification email. You'll get an email with a link or a button in there where you click to verify. Once that happens, you'll see that it's been verified. And then what you'll do is you'll go into the setup instructions, and this will give you basically 3 steps to complete in order to set up your DKIM and your SPF. And these are really kind of validation or verification steps, so that the email providers know, the email clients like Gmail and Yahoo and Hotmail and such, they know that you're the one basically sending those emails, that it's not coming from a bad actor, essentially. So you would first add some CNAMEs to your DNS in your DNS settings of your provider. Then you would also add in your text setting as well for the SPF. And then once those are installed, it may take a little bit of time. I think we say up to 24 to 48 hours for that to actually start working. But you'll check back in 24 to 48 hours and see if these have changed from red or pink, as Alita mentioned, to green where it says installed. If it comes through and it's green, that means everything's looking good. If it's still pink, definitely reach out to our team and see if there's something we can do to help kind of address that. But by setting that up, it's gonna help your emails get delivered much more effectively than if it wasn't set up. So definitely want you to take a look at that and make sure that you're authenticating. That's the word I was looking for. Authenticating your from address with the different email clients out there. All right. All right, so we got about 20 minutes left, and we got some great questions coming in so far. If you have any questions or want me to walk you through anything in Aweber, definitely put that into the comments, and we'll dive into that. One thing I was thinking of showing you was how to send to multiple segments. That's something that isn't as obvious in Aweber that I want to show you that you can actually do. You can also exclude segments as well. So first off, let's talk really quickly about segments and what those are. Segments are essentially subgroups of subscribers that you want to send to. So rather than sending an email to all of your list, all of your subscribers, you might want to send to only a segment of your subscribers. So if you write blog content or a podcast and you have different topics you cover, and you want to kind of segment your group or your subscribers by the different interests they have, then you can do that. If you've got customers and prospects on your list and you want to send different emails to different groups, you can create a segment of those individuals in Aweber and send them more specific, targeted, relevant information rather than blasting it to everybody. We want to try and remove that word blast from your vocabulary. Because really you're not trying to blast your subscribers, you're trying to build a strong relationship with them. And by sending them the most relevant information and content possible, you're strengthening that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how to A, build a segment, and B, how to send to multiple segments, and C, how to exclude different segments of subscribers. So let's jump over to our subscriber management area here. And one thing too that you might notice is that if you're looking at this on a mobile device, our pages are now mobile responsive. So let's go ahead and narrow this. You'll see what I mean. So now it is mobile responsive. You'll see that I can't really see it very well on the desktop here, but you'll see that everything's responsive now. That as you do this, you'll be able to see your different filters and segments up here above. But if you're looking at this on a mobile device, it's even more obvious. So that's a newer enhancement that we just recently made. So definitely something that we've been getting a lot of questions about. All right, so let's jump back into segments. So in order to build a segment, first off, you're going to search for the different subscribers. So there's a number of ways that you can build segments or search for subscribers. So if you click on this search option here, oh, it looks like the screen share is not showing it, but there are a lot of options here. So you can search by email, by name, by tags that your subscribers have, ad tracking. So ad tracking is kind of associated with our sign-up forms. Each sign-up form has a unique ad tracking code. You can look at people who opened a specific message, who clicked a specific link, who have opened any of your emails in a given period of time, or who haven't opened any emails in a given period of time. Same thing with clicks. If they've clicked something in a period of time or haven't clicked something in a period of time. You can look at when they were first added as a subscriber, when they subscribed. You can look at location, different countries and cities and regions. And you can build segments or groups of subscribers based on all these different criteria. I wish that the screen share was showing you the dropdown, but when you click on search option, it will show you all these different things. So let's go ahead and I'm going to click on tag. So tag, and we're going to look at, let me see here. Let me just jump over here and find a tag that we are using. All right, let's go ahead and do tag is customer and click search. And then it'll show us all the subscribers who have the tag customer. So there's 9 subscribers in this group, and I can save them as a segment right here. So let's go ahead and put in customers, yes, and then click save. And this will refresh, and you'll find if you scroll down, you'll find that segment has now been saved over here on the left. So if I click on customers, it'll show me those 9 subscribers. Now these segments are dynamic, meaning that they're going to always be updating real time. So if someone new gets tagged with the word customer, they will now be added automatically to this segment. If someone gets that tag removed from their subscriber profile, then they will get removed automatically from this segment. So it's real time, always changing, always updating. So you can create these segments ahead of time, and then as people meet the criteria, they automatically get moved into this segment. Now let's go ahead and look at a different segment. Let's do prospect. I'm not sure if I have anybody with that tag, but let's go ahead and give it a try. All right, I do. So there's 21 individuals, subscribers on this list who have the tag prospect. So let's go ahead and put in prospect and prospects, and then click save. And that'll refresh. And now I've got another segment for prospects right here. And there's our 21 subscribers. Let's give this a quick refresh. All right, there we go. Let's click on prospects. There's my 21 subscribers here in just a moment. There we go. All right, so now I have a segment of customers, a segment of prospects, and let's say that I want to send to both of them. Now, when you go to actually send your broadcast, you can't select multiple segments. So what you have to do is you have to actually create sort of a, we'll call it a super segment right here, sort of a new segment of that. So what we'll do is we'll go tag is any of these, and we'll do customer and prospect. Go ahead and hit search. So now what I have is I have all 29 of those individuals on this list. So what I can do is I can do a new segment here of customers and prospects. And go ahead and hit save. This will refresh, and now it's been saved. Now I can send that out, and I can delete that segment later on if I want to. I don't need to keep these segments. If you scroll down here, you'll see that, let's say I no longer want the customers and prospects one. You'll see a little red X show up here. All you have to do is click that and hit delete, and that segment is no longer there. You'll still maintain all of your stats that email was sent to, but that's how you would basically create sort of when you send to multiple segments. So you've got your customers, you've got your prospects, you just create sort of a new segment of those individuals, and that's how you go about doing that. You could do the same thing with excluding segments as well in the same process. So let's go. Tag is any of these, and then we'll do customer and prospect. And then what we'll do is we'll add one more thing here for tag is not, and then maybe it's past customer or something of that nature. I'm not sure if I have anybody that has that tag, but this is how you would exclude a segment of subscribers, by basically using another filter, doing tag is not past customer. So all it's going to show me is anyone with the customer or prospect tag who also does not have past customer tied to their subscriber profile. So again, I don't know if I have anybody with a past customer tag in here. It doesn't look like I do, but if I did, it would exclude anybody that has that tag. And so that's how you would exclude segments from your email send, from your broadcast. Now this isn't done at the point of actually sending the email. You actually have to do this ahead of time and build your segment that you want to send to, because you can only send to one segment at a time. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. So Greg says, can you send to subs by excluding a segment? Yes. Or would you have to create a separate segment? Yeah, you actually have to, like I just demonstrated, you actually have to build that segment ahead of time rather than at the point of actually sending the message, because you can only select one segment for each of your emails. You can include additional lists or exclude additional lists, but if you're trying to get to sort of a single list model, or maybe just a few lists, and you're trying to use segments more, then you actually have to build those segments beforehand and send to those specific segments. And you can do those exclusions right in the subscriber management area. So let's see, Amy's saying, thanks for showing how to save those tags as a segment. So much easier seeing it. I was trying to do that a much harder way. Yeah, definitely. And one other thing too is, let's say that you haven't really started using tags yet. What you can do is you can begin manually applying tags to subscribers. So let's say I want to look for anybody who opened a message, or maybe, well, yeah, let's do that. So anyone who, here's a good use case. So let's look at anybody who hasn't opened a message in the last 365 days. 365 days ago, click on search. So I'm going to look for anybody who hasn't been engaging with my emails for the last year. And so I've got about 9,000 people who haven't done that. What I can do is I can apply a tag to these subscribers by clicking this little checkbox and then selecting this link here, all 9,199 subscribers. And then what I'll do is under the Actions tab, I'll go to Tag, and I'll apply a tag here. So maybe it's unengaged. And then hit Apply. And then basically what's going to happen is this is going to go into a queue. It's going to take some time for us to apply those tags because it's such a large number of subscribers. So if you go to your subscriber tools and go to bulk action history, you can kind of see where it is in the process. So right now it's 50 of the 9,000 or so who have been tagged. And if I give this a quick refresh, you'll see that it's changing. So little by little, they're going to start applying those tags to subscribers. But once this is completed, you'll see that it'll move from processing to completed down below, and then you'll know that that bulk tag has now been done. And then what you can do is you can come back to your subscribers here, and you can create your tag is unengaged and hit search, and then save this as a segment. So we'll say unengaged subscribers, hit save. And you can do this before your bulk tag process is complete. You can build these segments out ahead of time, and as people meet the criteria, they automatically get added to that segment. That was a really poor example of how to build an unengaged subscriber segment. I missed a couple steps there, so let me actually quickly correct that. So what you'll do, rather than just doing no opens in the last 365 days, you also want to add in another thing here for the add date, because if someone hasn't opened an email and they just joined yesterday and you haven't sent them an email, you want to make sure you exclude those brand new subscribers who haven't yet received an email. So you'll want to add a date added field here. So date added is on or before, maybe it's 30 days ago or something like that. And I'm typing in 30 days ago rather than picking a date, because that will give you a rolling window rather than a fixed window. It makes it more dynamic that way. So if I hit search, this is going to show me anyone who hasn't opened an email, but who was added before 30 days ago. So I can always point to this. I can always look at this segment. It will always be a dynamic segment because it's not looking at a specific date, a date and time. So it's not a fixed segment. It's now a dynamic segment by typing in, the days ago. All right, so hopefully that answers your question. But there's definitely lots you can do. You can build really advanced segments using the subscriber management area. All right, so Greg's asking, if a particular subs tag has been removed, will they be automatically removed from a segment? They will. So as long as that segment if the criteria is a tag, so tag is whatever it may be. So in this case, we'll do customer and click search. So if the tag customer is removed from one of your subscribers, they will no longer be part of this segment. They'll automatically be removed. And that's kind of what I mean by dynamic segments. They're always going to be updating with the most real-time, up-to-date information. All right, let's see here. So Harrison family is asking, how do I add code snippet from Stripe to a button in order to send subscribers to a Stripe-hosted checkout page? I've not gotten that question before. Code snippet from Stripe to a button in order to send subscribers to a Stripe-hosted checkout page. What I would suggest is if you have a checkout page on Stripe that has a unique URL, I would just link to that page from your email. And I assume you're sending an email, but you can certainly do it from a landing page too. From an Aweber landing page, you can add a button to your email or to your landing page, which links off to your Stripe-hosted checkout page. So I don't think you need to add any code to your email or to the landing page in order to do that. As long as you have a URL for that checkout page, you definitely can do that. So let me know if that doesn't answer your question, or if I'm missing the mark there. I'm not sure if I'm misunderstanding what you're asking me. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? Just go ahead and put them into the comments there, and we'll answer those. We have about a few minutes left. And I see Gus over on YouTube commenting about the customer service. It looks like you've got some challenges there with our customer service team. I will definitely take a look at that, Gus. I'll look you up and see what's going on there. It looks like you've been waiting for a reply. So I will definitely look into that for you and get back to you. All right. Let's see, we've got a few minutes left. I think I could probably show one more thing. So we talked about segments, and I love segmentation. That's one of the things I love most about email marketing, is the ability to really get hone in on a specific group of subscribers and send them the right information that they want. That has a lot of benefits as you get more targeted with your communication and build segments. You're going to see your engagement rates go up, which also helps get your emails into the inbox more often as well. And that's kind of one of the lesser known benefits of segmentation, is that it also benefits your deliverability. So one of the things that the email clients look at, Google, Gmail, Google, Yahoo, Hotmail, and so on, is they look at how well engaged your subscribers are. And so as you increase your engagement rates by sending more targeted communication to different segments of subscribers, you're helping your all of your overall deliverability of your emails as well. So definitely important thing to keep in mind. Let's see here. We only have a couple more minutes. So if you have any questions in the meantime, just go ahead and put those in. I don't know if I have enough time to really dive into anything else just yet, but we've got some really exciting things coming up that we are working on. The product team at AWeber is working on. So stay tuned for that. We've got some exciting things coming that I think you're going to really enjoy and are really going to find a lot of value in. And we'll have some more AWeber team members on as well to kind of introduce those different aspects of it. We, a while back, talked about web push notifications. So I can talk a little bit about that right now, since it's kind of been, the news is broke about it. We are working on rolling out web push notifications, and we have a public beta going on right now. So we have customers using it right now and testing it out and giving us feedback. And so we're excited in the very near future to roll that out and introduce it to all of our customers, all of our pro users. If you're not a pro user, you wouldn't have access to it just yet. You'd have to upgrade to be a pro user in order to get access to the web push notifications. But it's a really exciting advancement in the different products that we offer, where you'll be able to push out a notification, a browser notification to your website subscribers automatically. So wherever they are on the web, you can push out a notification to them, and you've seen those before, where they pop up and say, someone has a new blog post, or someone has a new podcast, or someone has a new offer. You'll be able to do that, and you don't have to collect people's email addresses in order to have them subscribe to those web push notifications. So more to come. I'll have one of our product managers on to demonstrate that and show you how it works, and answer any questions you may have. But I want to thank you for tuning in today and joining me. Thank you for all the great questions. Again, if you do have any questions in the meantime, if you're watching the replay, put them in the comments. We'll be monitoring this. And if you need any help, be sure to contact our team. We're available 24/7, there to help you with anything anything related to your AWeber account or with email marketing. Thanks, everyone, and have a good rest of your day.